All right, Saagar, what's on your radar?
Well, Vice President Joe Biden is out with a new campaign ad in the early primary states titled The Soul of America, in which he doubles down on his core message that he will restore so-called morality to American leadership. Let's take a listen.
We give Donald Trump 4 more years. This will not be the country envisioned by Washington. This will not be the nation bound together by Lincoln. This will not be the nation lifted up by Roosevelt or inspired by Kennedy. It will not be the nation that Barack Obama proved bends toward justice. We can't and I will not let this man be reelected President of the United States of America.
Let's leave aside the fact that the ad is deceptively edited to make voters think that Biden is actually capable of speaking in complete sentences, and focus on the substance, or, well, the lack thereof. The entire ad is just Hillary Clinton 2.0. The idea that Trump is a uniquely uncouth man, he violates the sacred tenets of American democracy. And the Washington Post characterized a fictional title for this ad as, quote, "Make America Not So Terrible Again." The entire Biden campaign, it seems frozen in 2016, as if this entire playbook has not been run before. Just look at this Hillary ad from 2016. It's the same theme. Trump is an uncouth man. My God, our children are watching. The world is watching.
Our children and grandchildren will look back at this time, at the choices we are about to make, the goals we will strive for, the principles we will live by, and we need to make sure that they can be proud of us.
The problem, though, isn't Biden's ad isn't just a redux of Hillary Clinton's ad. It's also got that long holding shot of Barack Obama at the end to remind everyone whose legacy Joe wants to continue. It really is as if Barack Obama did not personally put his entire legacy on the line day after day by campaigning for Hillary Clinton, directly imploring voters to vote for her. If they cared about him, if they thought they fared better off under him, if they wanted to continue 4 more years, they must do as he said. Let's take a trip down memory lane.
In fact, if you want to give Michelle and me a good send-off, and that was a beautiful video, but don't just watch us walk off into the sunset now. Get people registered to vote. If you care about our legacy, realize everything we stand for is at stake. All the progress we've made is at stake in this election. My name may not be on the ballot, but our progress is on the ballot. Tolerance is on the ballot. Democracy is on the ballot. Justice is on the ballot. Good schools are on the ballot. Ending mass incarceration, that's on the ballot right now.
How'd that message work out, huh? Not so well. But as viewers of this show know, what really happened is the working people of this country lost complete faith in the Democratic Party and either stayed at home en masse or they decided to roll the dice on Donald Trump. Now, Joe Biden is giving these people zero reason to change their calculus going into this election. Sure, his anodyne message may be enough to win him the Democratic primary, but how is he supposed to either pull new voters into that process or energize anyone to combat those who drove out to vote for Donald Trump? Interview after interview, Biden makes it crystal clear a vote for him is a return to the Obama years, a return to the halcyon age where we all got along, a return to the relative domestic comforts of the year 2013. But the real question any Democratic campaign should be asking is whether the people who voted for Donald Trump can afford to go back to 2013. By 2013, the promises of the Obama administration were revealed to be hollow with rising prices under the Affordable Care Act. In 2013, the Obama administration was continuing in earnest secret negotiations of the Trans-Pacific Partnership trade deal, and in 2013, the Obama administration was at the height of its appeasing of Beijing. 2013 was a great year for the cosmopolitan elites of this country, but it was a complete disaster for the American working class and the industrial Midwest in particular. Biden's strategy is doomed to utter failure because it doesn't even pretend to offer them a new way forward. Make America less terrible again really means make America great for the elites of this country again. And such a message is uniquely tailored for older low-information voters, but not one of inspiration. With the Democratic debate tomorrow, the real question that needs to be asked is what exactly make America less terrible again means for the actual future. What does a Biden trade policy look like? What does a Biden finance policy look like? Candidates would do well to contrast their vision with his own, because right now it appears he's winning this battle, but very much poised to lose the war. And that's the thing I really wanted to focus on, Crystal, which is that this entire, we must go back 4 years, reset the clock. The thing is that because the media has such treated him with kid gloves, we still do not know if Joe Biden would continue tariffs on China. We still do not know what a Biden finance policy looked like. I mean, we've litigated health care till the cows come home, but we have not gone into many of the issues that the industrial Midwest has flipped. And the truth is in the small gleaming moments where we've seen it, Biden's answer is to just continue the Obama administration policy, which is why it's a loser.
And that's the thing, is that his campaign is not actually about policy. Like, I was thinking about this the other day when I was working on a piece on Biden versus Bernie, because I do think, and the polling shows, it is coming down to be a two-person race. We're going to talk today in the show about a new Emerson poll that shows the two of them clustered at the top, everyone else way behind, and with their bases way more solidly behind them than even those people who are lagging back in the second-tier candidates. But his campaign's not about policy. If I had to say what he would do in the first 100 days of all, I have no idea.
I don't think he knows.
I don't have any idea what he would prioritize. In a way, I kind of appreciate this bad ad because it's completely representative of who he is and the hollowness of what he's ultimately running on. I mean, think about this. Look, we go back to 2016. We literally had video of Donald Trump saying his thing on the Access Hollywood bus, the P. I mean, could not be more awful, blatant, etc. We ran on that. And we lost with Hillary Clinton, who is at least competent and at least intelligent, as disliked personally as she is. You think we had Charlottesville, right? How hard did the media go? And rightfully so, because the president's behavior around Charlottesville was cowardly and despicable. The media went incredibly hard on that. It didn't ultimately hurt him. So why do you think that that's the message that's going to win for you in November, when we've already had a trial run of it and it didn't land?
And
the bottom line is, he doesn't have anything else to run on.
I said this on the day he launched his campaign here with his announcement video, which was all about Charlottesville. And it was interesting because at the time the news media said there were two different ads. There was one focusing on working class Joe from Scranton, about being from that area, knowing the issues that these people feel, why they might have voted for Trump and why they should come home to roost. The other one was Charlottesville. Which one do you think they picked? They picked the latter. That has been the defining issue of the campaign, and that entire campaign, again, it's enough to get older, low-information voters en masse in a stratified Democratic field to vote for Joe Biden as the Democratic nominee.
Right.
It is not enough to win the presidency. It's just not.
Especially looking at that video of Barack Obama, you realize, like, putting his policies and the failures of his presidency aside, as a politician, how phenomenal, head and shoulders above, almost everyone in this particular field. But the problem with, if he had gone the Scranton route and said, I understand why these voters left our party, who does that indict?
Right, it indicts Obama.
And
he can't wrap himself in that.
He cannot critique Obama and his own vice presidency and the decades that he's been part of the Democratic Party neoliberal establishment. He can't critique that because it's an indictment
That was
himself.
him. This is what I want people to understand. Joe Biden was the Obama administration point man on Beijing. The point man on Ukraine, which, by the way, is what we're all embroiled in. All of the failed policies. In Syria, all of these different things that they did. Biden was right there. Bob Gates has already said it best. He's been wrong on every major foreign policy decision for the last 40 years. Iraq war, not only was he pro-Iraq, he was wrong at actually every single turn of the war. There's a great piece, I think, in the Daily Beast about this. It's just people do not understand that so much of where we are right now is because of Biden, Obama, of all of these different policies. And all he's saying, his entire campaign is, let's go back to that.
Right.
Let's go back to that. And that worked for a very few members of this country, for a large and select powerful few, but it didn't work for everybody. And if you don't have a message for that, you're not going to win.
That's exactly right. Next up on Rising, should the U.S. stop doing business with China?
Congressman Mike Gallagher shares his thoughts on that question, the status of the USMCA trade deal, when Rising continues.